everybody, this is John, and today we're going to be reviewing the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe class Micronus, or as his name is on the box, Micronus Prime. This is another one of the original 13. As I have shown quite a few of them at this point now on this channel. Let's take a quick look at him there. So here he is in the box. There's his alt mode. There's his robot mode type thing. Yeah, we'll get into the reasoning of some of this in a minute, like this really cool awesomeness. It's a very cool concept. Here's Micronus again on the side of the box there. And I think as we are all acquainted with now, this is our normal box art here. And as you can see, we've got basically everyone who is now in this picture. So you've got Solus here, you've got Micronus, and here is Alchemist Prime. Then, on the back of the box, you've got your obligatory product shot here, and everything is there. 7 steps for the smaller Micronus, 22 steps for his bigger armor type thing, and this is his ancient reliquary of the Primes, which I think is the Chimera Stone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, that is it for the box, so I'm going to take him open and show you how he looks like when you take him out. So, when you take him out of the box, you'll be greeted with this, and also make sure to check this little paper satchel here that is taped in. Looks like very generously taped in, because that'll be where your Prime accessories or his weapons are. So yeah, I'm gonna basically free this guy up, and we'll take a look. We'll take a look at him and see how he compares with the rest of the 13. And I believe that the last couple of the Primes here are like really, really good. So I know Micronus is definitely something that, from a design perspective, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, is very much different to what we've seen with all the other 13 Primes. So a bit out of left field there. And also what we got going on with Amalgamus and Quintus Prime, who are coming next year. Yeah, all really, really good stuff. And if you would like to see any more videos like this, or any 3D printing, or any discussions that I've done on the channel, then please do like, comment, and subscribe. Right, I'll get to getting him open, and we're going to review this guy. So, here is Micronus out of the packaging, and this is how he comes out of the packaging. And here is his little accessory, and as I have mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the Chimera Stone. And if the phone's going to focus, I'm not sure if it will, but you'll see that his faction symbol is on there. And to complete the armor here, you got a 5mm peg right there, and you pretty much just pop it in the 5mm peg there, and that completes his armor there. And this is a very, very interesting way of depicting Micronus for, I would say, a modern generation's treatment, and also a new generation who might not be familiar with the 13 Primes, because he has got he's basically got two surprises. One, as you are gonna see, he is actually two Transformers. Yeah, so this here is not his actual robot mode. This is his armor. So, I guess playing akin to, let's say, Transformers Prime, the Apex armor, possibly, but more so kind of the concept of, I would say what we're kind of familiar with for Pretenders. So you got your more humanoid mode here, and then inside you've got the inner robot, which is the actual proper robot mode. And I think a lot of people have said that this should be the new Pretender treatment when they come to doing Pretenders again, compared to what we had for the Legacy treatment. That was a little bit weird, very mixed opinions. There were some that worked really well, and then some that just flopped really hard and just were not great. Anyway, taking a look here at Micronus here in his big armored up power suit. You can see he's a pretty short, pretty tiny but chunky looking guy here. As you can see. He's very, very clean as well. I mean, super clean, like really, really cool. So, articulation-wise, his head. I mean, yeah, it's very, very, everything's so tight. So his head is on a swivel, so that can rotate, and he's got a bit of that. Arms can go up and down. He has got 90 degrees out on the shoulder. He's got an upper bicep swivel. Here he's got a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and his little hands here also swivel there. He has got no waist swivel due to the nature of how stuff's engineered, but his legs can go forward that much and go back that much, can go out and do higher than full splits. That's pretty flexible. Knees can bend, and I mean, if you get this little port out of the way that's inside, it can bend even further if you want it to. But I love this because this is very much, it just feels like an automorph that's been pre-designed in this. Maybe not on purpose, but just something there. And he's also got ankle tilting there, and well, if you wanted to do something where you can pivot his toe, little toe down a little bit, then you can do that as well. So that is that. So for comparisons, I'm gonna bring in the rest of the 13 primes here in his current state at the moment, so that we can then just take a look at what the roster is looking like currently shaping up. So I've got Onyx here. Here is Alchemist. Gonna put Micronus at the back. Here is Primer. And I'm gonna stick Solus in just behind Micronus there. So this is what the lineup looks like, more or less, at the moment, in terms of how many I've got. And the one that I'm currently missing from this year at the moment is Star Convoy. So I think that'll be one that I'll probably end up getting a little bit later after the rest, most likely. Getting on for gimmicks-wise. So as I said, he's got two surprises here. And I'm going to show you exactly one of those right now that I've just explained. So first thing you got to do is you're going to want to basically open up his chest. So you want to split this open here. And you go, I'll take the stone out. Just go pop it to the side. And then just fold that all out. And there's a peg right at the back there that's holding in this blue disc. And there we go, now I've freed him up, and we're going to just close up his armor and put him over there. So this is in actual fact Micronus, and this is a really genius thing here to have him depicted as the Minicon logo here in a disc. Yeah, I get the reason why they did this, because he is the smallest Transformer. And he is also technically your core class in a deluxe price point as well. So that is kind of cool. I do love the core class figures, so I'm all for Hasbro trying to find a way to creatively bring core class into our modern generation lineups, and in terms of trying to find a creative way to incorporate them, even though they're not really out there as a separate price, separate class in terms of price anymore. But yeah, this is basically a disc. That's the back. There we go, that's his head. So yeah, very, very simple to transform. You basically just take his legs here, and you fold them down like that. Like so, like that. You're then gonna take the arms here. You're gonna just separate them like that. Gonna bring them up. Bring him up like that. You're then going to take his tiny head and you're going to swivel that 180. You're going to swing his arms down, rotate his feet so that they are facing forward. And then you're going to go to the back, and you're going to take the Chimera Stone and just plug it into the back there of Micronus. And here he is in his actual robot mode, and this is quite a cute little figure here. I quite like it, and he is blue, so I love blue. Favorite color here. Loads of metallic teals and stuff there as well. But yeah, this is obviously his the incarnation that we've known him for in 2015's Robots in Disguise. This was his most prevalent appearance in terms of design on television. He wasn't really very famous within his aligned continuity design, or I should say maybe the Covenant or Primus look. But yeah, this is definitely a really, really cool way to kind of incorporate Micronus, and you kind of have a 2-for-1 in a deluxe, which is really, really cool. Anyway, so articulation-wise, I think very similar to what we have with Core Class. So he's got a ball-jointed head here, so his head can turn left and right. If you want him to, he can look up quite far. Arms, I've got full 360 there. He's got a bend at the elbow. And the arms can go like that as well. Legs can do splits. They can go back that far, forward that far, and you got your bend as well at the knee. So you can give him some cool poses and stuff as well. So that is your little tiny Micronus right there. So we're going to pop him to the back, And we're going to focus back on this guy now. So, yeah, we're going to go for the actual transformation now. So, he does parts form, and you got to work out the reason why he is a parts former a little bit in a second. But first of all, we're going to take him to his actual configured vehicle mode that is on the box. So first of all, you want to just take his head and you fold it into that. You're then going to take the pieces here of his stomach / waist and fold those up into there. We're going to just keep those there. And then what you're going to do is you are going to basically take his entire legs and take them away, and you're also going to rip his arms off. We're going to come back to the arms in a bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave... Well, we're going to basically rotate this bit up, and we're going to angle these down and bring them like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces and we're going to flush them out like so, like that. And then that is pretty much ready for putting together with everything else. So we're going to put that to the side. So we're going to take the legs now, and the legs are very, very interesting because there's a very particular order of how you're going to have to do things. So first of all, I take out the 5mm port here, and again, you got to find out what this can be used for later. So you're going to then take the foot, you got to fold this like that so that you complete look there. And then you are going to basically rotate this like that. And then we're going to want to, then you just want to do the exact same thing. Before you close it up, just pop that 5mm port back in and then squeeze these together. So then what you get here is you basically get a massive wheel. So then we bring this back in. And you got your 4 ports, yeah? You got 4 pegs in there. So it doesn't matter which way you do this. But you got to align 4 pegs on the wheels. Like so. So then we got that. And then what you're going to do is going to take these arms. You're going to basically just fold them like that. And you got some pegs right there. And this is where you just got to peg them back in like so. So, you got your little cycle there, and then you take your Micronus here, your little Micronus, you basically just fold his arms orientated like that, and get his legs kind of in a whoop, and you got some pegs up here that you basically want to just feed him into there. Not very easy to do sometimes. Right, there we go. So, oh, yeah, and it falls off apart a lot as well. So here is Micronus in his vehicle mode, and this is kind of a cool vehicle mode in actual fact. A single-wheeled motorcycle, which is very, very cool. I think the only time that a single-wheeled vehicle, or let's say robot, has been visited would probably be Revenge of the Fallen Scavenger / Demolisher. That design specifically relied on one wheel for design, and it's a very, very unique design for movie design as well. So it's kind of cool that this has been revisited in a way. And does it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so in theory, and this is so cool that it's like the wheel does work and it will just roll. And I think this is just something that is just super, super cool. I'm not sure how this is going to work out trying to do a comparison here because he doesn't want to stand. Yeah, this ain't going to stand. Right, so what I'm going to do then is I'll have to hold it. So, comparison-wise, here is Prowl. And if you give me a second, that is Micronus. There we go. So what is the other thing that you can actually do with this figure? Just go and grab the G1 Universe Optimus Prime here. And I'm going to show you a bit of what you can do with it. So I'm going to take a little Micronus off. You're going to take the arms off. And you basically got to take off the wheels. So you basically take him, just take him all apart, basically. Pretty much just take him apart. There we go. Not very fun doing that a lot. But yeah, this piece, you can't really use this for doing stuff like this. So this basically goes to the side, more or less. You want to just open back up in here. So you can get the 5mm port out. And then a really, really cool thing that you can do, I'm going to show it, is so if you take off Prime's smokestacks, you can take 5mm ports on Micronus and pop that like that. Then I'm going to go ahead, do the same on the shoulder there. And you can take the 5mm port here. You can pop a wheel on his back if you want to. And then, I mean, you could also pop this on his back as well, because you got a little 5mm port there, and you could basically use this as a stand. Or something, I don't know. But yeah, you've got all that you can do, and you can put the weapons there. Back in, yeah. So yeah, basically, he is a weaponizer. As well, so he's got so much playability, like an insane amount of playability that you can just have fun and do so much with this character. But for me personally, I don't really see Micronus as a weaponizer. I quite like him as he is with the suit of armor, but the playability, the functionality is basically there for you to do that if that is something that you desire. And I'm just gonna, there we go, just so that it's you can add the smokestacks back in there. There we go. So basically that's everything that I took off on Optimus Prime minus a gun. So there you go. That is my video on the Transformers Age of the Primes original 13 Micronus, or Micronus Prime, as is stated on the box. And I will see you all on the next one. This has been Cybertron John. Peace out.